What's up, my friends? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to do a deep dive into Langley for 2025 and beyond. Let's dive into it. Here we are on depositaccounts.com. There we go. I got my notes up and let's rock and roll, baby. So first things first is Langley, when you go and look at it on deposit accounts, it's got a horrible review on there. It's got a 2-star review, which you got to look at this as a, grain of salt with all of this. Like I'm showing you on the screen right now. With most credit unions, you have to get membership to get into CDs. They're always going to give you a better rate for being a new member versus an existing member. I know that that's backwards, but they're always trying to draw in more money, more customers, more clientele. So that's why they do this. I know it's kind of backwards. You would think, gosh, why wouldn't they take care of the members that have been with them forever and give them a better rate versus new members? I don't know, man. But 99% of credit unions do this. They'll put out juicy rates to bring in new customers and clients. So also to understand that you're gonna have to get membership for any credit union. Okay, I guess you wanna go outside, huh? Also understand that, again, for any credit union, you're gonna have to get membership. Some of these are just a soft pull, some are a hard pull on your credit, believe it or not. And all of them will check systems for membership as well, eligibility. So if you have it frozen, sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not okay. Just make sure you're checking in on ChexSystems because it can be a big pain in the butt to get that freeze removed, especially if you've lost your PIN, which I did recently, and it's a big pain in the butt. Okay, so deposit accounts has changed quite a bit. Like this is an edit that was just done 3/28 of 2025. I've got an edit from 2023. This is when they actually used to rank credit unions. And at the time, in March of 2023, Langley was the 66th largest bank in the nation. And at the time, they said they had 356,690 members, whereas right now it says just more than 300,000. And it looks like one location might have gone away since the 2 data sets, but I don't know if that actually matters. I don't know if that's a big deal or no deal. I'll leave that up to you to decide. But anyways, it's a big bank. And then if we scroll down, anything over $1 billion, if you remember way back to the credit union video that I made, I said, look, if they've got $1 billion in assets or more, you're probably gonna be in pretty good shape. There's a lot of credit unions that have just 300 million, 500 million in assets. That can be a problem. That can be a big problem. So, and again, you can go through and all their different ratios and ways of grading the health of the credit union. I think the easiest one to look at is just make sure that there's more deposits than loans. So that means more money coming in versus going out. That's a pretty easy one to look at. But anyways, that's depositaccounts.com. You can check that out if you want. We're not affiliated with them any way, shape, or form, but they're just a great resource to use. So now let's get into the juicy Langley Federal Credit Union data points. So here's what I got for you. Anyone can open an account. As you can see here, just $5 into a shared savings account. There is no criteria outside of that for getting into Langley, all right? Next is they will hard pull Equifax FICO 9 for credit products, and they will soft pull FICO 9 for membership. Okay, users have reported locking down Equifax and getting soft pull on membership. Okay, so there you go on that. Also too, they give you free Equifax FICO 9 credit scores now. So some members have noticed that they upgraded which FICO model that they're giving you in the free scores section. Most credit cards and or banks give you some sort of free credit tracking, credit report type tool. Most of it's just kind of bad. It's either like a Vantage score or something like that, or just like a really old FICO that nobody really cares about, or it's super delayed and you haven't gotten an update in like 3-4 months. So when they're good, it's nice though, because it does help offset and keeps that data right in front of your face. So that's cool. I like to see that. What else do we got? They pull ChexSystems. That said, is we've had members actually freeze their ChexSystems like I just mentioned, and they were able to just submit additional data like photo ID, and I think they had to do a selfie or something like that, verify on their phone. And then they pulled EWS, which is early warning systems, and they were able to get in. Now, that's not gonna be for everybody. It's definitely gonna matter how your profile data is matched up to your driver's license and your ID verification, because the ID verification piece of that can get really messy. And so if you try and be slick and try and lock everything down and then get caught in the loop of ID verification, then it can actually be really detrimental. It can negatively affect the membership. Sometimes you'll get rejected, you can't get back in. There are different departments for security and fraud, get you all wrapped up in the wrong web, and next thing you know, you've caused more stress and headache than if you would have just kept it unlocked. So I'll leave that up to you though to decide. Next, we've got probably by far the biggest piece of data that I can give you is that Langley is still a not double, but triple dip. What that means is at the time of getting any credit product, auto loan, credit card, personal line of credit, personal loan, these things, once you get a hard pull, the hard pull is good for 30 days and you can get up to 2 additional products without incurring another hard pull. This is what a double dip or triple dip is called. So I can go back twice, I can go back 3 times. So credit card, personal line of credit, and auto loan are things that I know for a fact you can go back and get all three on one single hard pull. Now, at the time of shooting this video, and depending on how well this video does and this information gets syndicated out there, who knows what will happen to Langley. They are a much bigger bank, which is why I chose to do this video. Also too, quick side note, you notice we're not really doing highlight videos on smaller credit unions anymore. After 4 or 5 of them getting completely wrecked, we had internal issues happen at some of the banks and stuff that we featured to where people's credit lines and credit cards were nuked because of, an overwhelm in the system. I don't want to see that, so we just don't cover those. Now, they are alive and well and covered in the private Discord, but they are not going to be talked about publicly on the YouTube channel, which, by the way, might just be worth it to get inside the Discord. It's only $1 a day. That's $30 a month, my friend. And there is, believe me, dozens, if not hundreds, of credit unions that people are keeping in their pockets and just talking about every once in a while inside the Discord. So Langley and the ones that we featured on the channel are a small sample size of what's actually being discussed and the most popular credit unions inside the community itself, which I'm sure is true for any community, right? So we definitely want to keep that inside and make sure that members are going to be able to capitalize and maximize on this stuff before it kind of gets, let's say, quote unquote, ruined by the general public getting their hands on it, right? And thousands of applications, if not tens of thousands of applications, go rushing into the bank. So anyways, yes, triple dip. They hard pull on credit limit increases. They do auto CLIs, but it appears to be small, like in the thousands of dollars. The max credit limit that we know of for the cashback credit card is $40,000. Time and time again, we've heard that customer service is fantastic. It's great. So, and I don't even know, you could check to see what the feedback is on here too, because they do have 32 reviews on deposit accounts, which is pretty rare. You usually see like maybe 1 or 2, and it's people like complaining about CD stuff and membership. But for them to have 32 is pretty impressive. So you might want to check that out too and see what else people are saying. But heard time and time again that customer service is great. Okay, recent approvals. So we featured this in the $120,000 in credit, which should be somewhere around this video in terms of timing. So if you're watching this much later on after we've already uploaded it, look for that video as well. That video it's featured in, I think it's also featured in the $680,000 or $690,000 in credit that was done collectively by the community over a couple months period. So it's featured in both of those videos, more data points. But let me give you a couple recent approvals, and then the rest I'm gonna keep zipped up for just members only. Okay, cashback, credit card, $10,000, personal line of credit, $10,000, 760s at the time for scores, Equifax scores, over 100K stated income at the time. There was no inquiries. This is the $120,000 app spree. So again, you might want to watch that video to get more of the details. They had a lot of credit builder accounts before this, and they just had the largest limit was at PayPal at $18,000, but they did really, really well with Langley. And then the only other one I'm going to mention is an overturned denial. Okay, so they were with Langley for 4 months. They applied for a credit card, denied. Then they reconned and got a $14,000 personal line of credit, which to me is great. Personal lines of credit a lot of times have better APRs than the credit card itself, but it's also a replenishing tool. So as I spend and pay, I get that back. So I like a personal line of credit, especially to offset a credit card. I like both of those together. And so, yeah, that was another one brought up in previous videos as well. Okay, lastly, what I'll say is that this credit union, just like a lot of others, you'll see pretty standard numbers, meaning we'll get a 10K card, 15K PLAC, or 15K card, 10K PLAC, somewhere in there. They like to start you off with 20 to 25,000 in terms of total exposure, and I don't see much where they're getting like over $100,000 in total exposure. Unless we bring in an auto loan piece, that you could obviously get much higher on that, and then collectively, you could get much higher. I haven't seen anyone really do that to know what that number looks like. But on a credit card side and personal loans, personal line of credit side, it seems to be 10 and 10, 10 and 15, some arrangement like that. They really like doing that and handing that out. So that's good. That's good to know for you, because you're looking at walking out of there with 20 to 25,000 if the credit profile looks good, etc., etc. So there you have it, a fresh look at Langley Federal Credit Union for 2025. If you've got data points or some experience with this bank that we missed, or you think that we missed something, comment below and let us know so that we can go ahead and update our notes. And outside of that, you're already here on the channel. If you like this sort of thing where we deep dive and give you the data points that hopefully you're not getting anywhere else, then stick around, watch more videos, share this with a friend, comment, give us the algo stuff to juice us up in the comments below. Like it, share it, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and be on the lookout. More videos coming soon on the channel. See ya.